What's up, everybody? Oh my god. I was just chilling right now. What's up, man? Just kicking back. Hopefully, everybody's doing good. Going into the 6 days to the holiday, man. Merry Christmas, right? Happy New Year. But I seen something earlier, man. Maybe like 2, 3 hours ago since I've been in and out of how I've been feeling and so forth, man. And it kind of disturbed me to tell you the truth. In some sense that people are just copycats, man. Straight up, man. They got nothing else to do but to say something, be something like somebody else, a hypocrite. And I hate to even say it, man. I hate to even use people, besides family, friends. But, StreamYard, YouTube, I get it in some sense. But you might as well just say you're just doing the copycat, just being a copycat, right? And I'll just talk about it just a little bit. But there's a lot of people on social media that are just copying, especially when that stuff has to do with stuff that I do, what I say, who I hang with, who I'm being with. Or just alternating. They're just copycats, duplicators, you know what I'm saying? Nothing original that's coming from them. You know what I'm saying? It's making me laugh, man, to tell you the truth. And everybody's like, okay, probably like, who are you talking about? These people could be spiritual. These people could be mindseted. They could be angry people. They could be atheist people. They could be Roman Catholic people. They could be from the streets, from the hood, and the upraising. They could be far north, far south, far east, far west. It just trips me out about these people, how they come on here and they duplicate themselves, or they imitate themselves, or they copy somebody else. Their titles or what they're saying or what they're being just trips me out, man. And like, I've been feeling a lot better, but like I've been seeing a lot of things as of lately, man. Just a bunch of hypocrites, just a bunch of duplicators, just those that are out there just to say something that they're trying to be with themselves or with other people, not realizing that they're just copying somebody else, man. You know? And that's what it is, man. And I trip out on that, how people will come out here and just copy somebody else, their mindset, right? And like I said, I was looking at it today, man. I was tripping out. And I don't like to copy anybody, man. Me personally, man, I'm a content creator. I come out doing things on myself, man. I know you guys see me on the G Lu Show, which is my partner. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the G Lu Show, man. Does things on his own, right? We came up with something together, 3 years ago? And let's talk about it. That's what it was, right? Now I look at 3 years later, and I still people seeing copying what their content is. All it's all about. Let's talk about it, eh? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing right now, man. I'll be on for like 10, 15 minutes and just displaying and what I'm showing and what I'm telling is the truth, man. And that's what I'm saying. After 2025, everybody's going to get exposed on what they're doing, on what they're saying, on what they're talking about, and what they're not, if they're saying something similar. Now, I understand that YouTube, you know what I'm saying, you can't be original on some things, right? Everybody's going to copy, co-write, copyright. They're going to just take what they got from you, man, and just run with it. And that's what's making me laugh, eh? But for how long and for how much? You know what I'm saying? To go copy somebody else, what they're saying, or their titles and all that, when somebody else is being like that, what is that saying? Is that you're just you're copying these people, on their titles, on what they say, on what they do. There's a lot of people that are piggybacking. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. You could piggyback all you want, man. But when it comes to sickness and disease, you ain't even coming close to it. When it comes to stuff rough, tough, and dangerous, you ain't even coming close to it. When it comes to settling down, and you're not even coming close to that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just putting out their narrative out there, right? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What are you there? Come up with your own title, man. It's easy. It's not hard. That's what the difference is. A lot of these people these days are just, copycatters, man. You know what I'm saying? They go out there and they'll take stuff from your narrative. They'll take stuff from your content. They'll take stuff from what you say and what you do, who you represent and who you're representing. It's just funny, man. And they'll put it out there like it's nothing. I seen a guy, they're already on 20 episodes. I was like, what? I was just said, so what's similar to let's talk about it? Come on, people. What is similar to let's talk about it? Let's just talk. I'll say that. Okay. What's the difference, eh? You know, and these are spiritual person. They got 20 people out there, man. I was just like, what? And to talk and to come out there, I know who's out there. You know what I'm saying? I know who's doing their thing. I know who's what they're saying. You know who's out there and what they're saying. They feel is like okay, there's a little difference. There's not because they have nothing else good to say on what they're saying. And what they're doing is pretty similar what I'm saying and what I'm doing, or the homie Gilu, what we're saying and what we're doing, what we've been putting out there. Are they gonna take our titles too? You know what I'm saying? Because they can't come out with their names, so they definitely can't come out with the titles. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was just been looking at, man. Like I said, I've been off and on going through my thing. I've been sick, man. I've been going through this thing that everybody's talking about. It's a little virus. Thank God for that. It's not nothing that's a disease, which who knows? There's a lot of us that are fighting diseases, man. Sickness and disease ain't no joke, man. And those who are really fighting it, man, those who are really doing it, man, and going through it, man, shout out to them, man. Even those who I had a difference with it, in some sense, still going through it. I wouldn't wish cancer upon anybody, man. I wouldn't wish any disease or sickness, man. You can't even move, you can't go, you can't even put your foot in front of the other. I'm active. I just barely turned 49 and I get it. These things are coming to hand. It's time to settle. But for those who are copycats, those are duplicators, those who don't have nothing to say but to say it, they'll go out there and they'll say it, they'll copycat, they'll copyright, they'll do everything they say, and there'll be 2 or 3 people behind it. And let's just realize where you guys getting it from. Where did let's talk about it. So it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty similar to let's just talk. You know what I'm saying? It's hypocrisy, right? What's the difference between a liar and lying? Come on, man. And that's what this little message is all about right now. Those that don't have a content, those who say they're content creators but they're copying everybody else, they're making episodes or a video behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. 2025, man, coming out. And I'm gonna say it, and those who are saying it and those who are being about it, supposedly, you know, I come respectfully, man. I come out of my own thing, out of my own nature, out of my own content. I go out of my own gas. I go out of my own will, my own expenses, everything I do, you know. And those who allow me to participate with them, it's just a few. Hey, shout out to them too, man, because they're doing their thing. But they're not taking my title, or they're not taking a title that's similar to what I'm saying, even something similar. I mean, come on, man. It's just like where the piggybackers at, man. You know what I'm saying? They be piggybacking off of you, what you say and what you do. And then they come out here with other people and what they say and what they're doing. I mean, it's just what's up with that, eh? You can't do your own thing. You're gonna come on my videos and look at everything that I do and everything that I say, and then you're gonna make your own selves and your own standards and your own videos and your own this, and you say you're original about it. When I start pulling you out, man, in videos in comparison, really? Let's talk about it. Just sounds like let's just talk, eh? It sounds just as similar, man. It's the same thing, you know what I'm saying? And these are people that are uprighteous, and with strength, supposedly, spiritually. But that's what people come out of because they can't come out of their own, what they say and what they do. They got to say this, they got to say that. Now, some stuff, I get it. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be repeated, whether you're from LA, mid California, or up north, whatever. Me, I've been to mid and up north to tell you the truth. But most of my foundation, most of my longevity has been right here in the state, right here in the cities where I belong, where I grew up at. There's only a few cities where I've been at. I've been out of this country. Come on now, man. People still have a hard time even believing that. I'm saying I've been to 4 nations. Besides this was fifth. Besides Mexico is 6. You know what I'm saying? With the passport and all. That's why my content comes out real quick. That's why what comes to me is plus. There's nothing negative from me. And if there's anything negative, then hey, that people despise or have a difference with, then hey, come on, man. We could talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Not let's just talk. Let's talk about it. That's what it is. When I say let's talk about it, it's for all standards, for all platforms, for all ways, frontwards and going backwards. You know what I'm saying? We could go to the right, we could go to the left, I'm always willing, man. I'm always, since I've been on YouTube for 4 years, hitting that 3,000. I've been respectful this whole time, man. I've been minding my own business, right? I've been with several platforms, good platforms. You know what I'm saying? Positive platforms. But those out there that despise and try to change the narrative, man, that try to take your content because they're what channel, maybe one or two, maybe there's thousands of them. It doesn't differ. I'm still gonna still do my thing. Whether there was one subscriber, there was 10 million. Ain't no difference. I ain't no better than anybody. Just doing me. That's all it is, man. Sick in health, all in all. And that's where I'm at right now, That's where I'm at right now. That's where Big D's at right now. But just scrolling over and looking at people and looking at their channels, it's cool. There's a lot of negativity that's out there, man, that I'm despised, eh? It don't even fade me, man. Especially when it comes to this neighborhood stuff or the spiritual stuff. It's the same thing, man. When I just say, let's just talk, it's a spiritual, they're coming from spiritual backgrounds, which is like, what? And then you put on a thing that I came out with, let's talk about it. I'm saying, it's like, hey, come on, let's talk about the situation, the standards, the purpose, the issue. Nobody else is saying that. Everybody else is using it. Go look at their channels. Now all of a sudden, everybody's using it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I get it, because they got nothing to talk about. They really don't. That's something that I came out of quick. I thought of that. Go ask the homie Jilu, you know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to episodes, all the episodes that we had, because we had a gang of episodes, right? And that's a different story too. Who came up with the concept? That's something else. But that's not even the importance of who coming, because then we had something going already, and we still do. Just Big D's been feeling a little big down. Holiday session. We start out with the brand new year, 2025, eh? You know what I'm saying? So it gets me a little upset, gets me a little disturbed, gets me a little bit annoyed, gets me a little, gets a little emotionally when it's there, when you try to you stay out of people's concept, when you try to stay out of people's way, when you're trying to stay out of their narrative, right? But when you started seeing that, it's like Whittier Village, which they do have, and the neighborhood Whittier Quiet Village, eh? You know what I'm saying? Which is standard. Well, one of them's gonna come out strong. It's always the opposite, right? You see it everywhere you go. You see Pico Nuevo, you see Pico Viejo. You know what I'm saying? It's just like there's an old one and there's a new one. I get it. I understand that. But when it comes to principles, it's just like, hey, why are you trying to even copy, eh? Why even trying to put that out there? Don't be a duplicator. Don't be a hater. You know what I mean? Don't be somebody that's going to take your concept because they think you ran out of it or you ran out. That's nothing even like that, eh? It's nothing even like that, man. I've been looking at it. I've been seeing it. And it's just like after 20 episodes that these people had, I was like, what? Even this other chick, man, from another state, you know what I'm saying? That says they have the same concept. They have the same title. Let's talk about it with somebody else, right? And they're barely right there, and they're barely seeing what's up. You know what I'm saying? But no, you know what I'm saying? We put up with that. They're actually even changing their name, to tell you the truth. Before me and Jilu even came up with this topic, right? We kept it. Jilu has kept it. Nobody had even had it. Nobody's ever had it because everybody likes to talk about everybody else. But they forgot about the title, and I was just like, what? Just like, if you're talking about this, and if you're talking about that, and you're doing this, and you're doing that, then, hey, you're talking about yourself, eh? That's where it was easy. Like, hey, let's talk about it. I was talking about myself, something easy, something standard. Most of the people on here, they're hating, man. And that's what it is, and that's what I find funny, man. That they'll come out there and they'll sneak it, right? Hey, they ain't doing it no more. Or let's just say something like that, man. I see a lot of channels that are like that, man. It's funny, eh? There's a lot of similarities, man. It's just copycatters, eh? That's all it is. Copycats, eh? Duplicators, haters, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is, man. And if somebody has something to say or somebody has something to tell me, then they'll get towards me. They'll say, hey, Big D, or yeah, we were. Let's just talk. Let's just talk what? Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. When it comes personally to me, or when it comes personally to my channel, or it comes personally to people that I've been kicking it with, rocking with, man, you're being disrespectful towards that kind of way, especially when it comes towards me, then you guarantee we're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But with all humility and good standards, you know what I'm saying? With all respect, to what point though? You know what I'm saying? I don't got to be active. You know what I'm saying? All right, I could be active all the way. It's one or what's the other? What's one or the other? What's the difference? People say, "Oh, I'm not active." Well, you're not active. Oh, well, I'm active. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm in the middle. What's the difference? You know what I'm saying? It's just either way, man. Things come down. You're still gonna handle it no matter what. Somebody comes out the gun, then hey, you're gonna handle it. Somebody pulls out a Bible, and then you're gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody invites you to this place or that place, you're gonna handle it. You know, but you're not gonna try to disrespect it. You know, church is church, right? Right? That's what it is, right? But now you have a bad church. You know, you can have pimps and hoes and all that stuff inside the church. All they do it now. So what's the difference of going to a good church? It's a big difference, eh? And that's the thing that I'm talking about. See the big difference? There's no similarities. Church is church. You know, it just has different routes and different roots, hey? There's Catholic, there's Christian, there's this Christian, that Christian. You know, there's a lot of dominations, eh? When it comes to stuff like that. And that's when people come out and they start saying, hey, well, let's just talk. Like, let's just talk about it, eh? Let's just talk about what? You know, let's just talk about this. Well, let's talk about it then. There's a lot of similarity. That's why it's just funny, eh, when I see stuff like this and where it's coming out, man. And heathen, you know what I'm saying? Straight takeaways, eh? Straight gaffle them up. Straight trying to just steal and rob, you know what I mean? And take your joy. I look at it. I saw something today. You know, going through church stuff and going through things, you know, cycling through the church stuff. I have a lot of church stuff in my phone. And then I see people over there taking it. They're church people, you know what I'm saying? Now that we're 15 minutes into it. People for, you know, church wise, you know, they get up, especially up north, eh? Now I really have nothing personal when it comes to the spirit of God and the things of God, eh? But hey, you don't have to take the choice. You don't got to take the chance to stand either. Let's just talk. Okay, well, let's just talk about what then? No, what's better. Let's talk about it, eh? And that's what it is, and that's what it is right now. You got another show or shows. You know what I mean? You know, what's there to put out? The truth, man. They're not even ready for that, man. A lot of people, they ain't ready. And that's where the standards and the motive and what it is, man, when confronting these issues. And let's talk about it, eh? So, uh, what I'm going to do, like I said, man, it's late at night where I come from, probably early morning where you're at, all across the world. You know, you got different times, different meanings, different sayings, you know what I'm saying? But let's just say this, man. I'm telling you, it's like I can't even wait till 2025. You know what I mean? I got to get down with it. I got to get a little, you know what I'm saying, with my mindset and start moving forward. As soon as I start getting better, as soon as the healing comes in, man, you know, that I receive, that, you know, people are praying for me and blessing me. It's all about positivity, you know what I'm saying? But those who are negative, man, they're looking for their action, man. Those who keep, you know what I mean, point here, point there. I'm out there out physically too. I'm on the streets of East LA, Boyle Heights, City Terrace, you know what I'm saying? Riverside, Ontario, you know, that's what I do. I'm everywhere. I go to Dallas, you know, I got people in Oklahoma, you know, they tell me, go down, come visit, come do this, come do that. That's what it is, eh? I make friends, you know. Maybe it's hard to make personal friends here in East LA because LA is very competitive. I get it. But when you have other people central and up north and they start discriminating, start taking your name and all that, come up with your own. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on now, eh? Stop being a duplicator, man. Stop being a hater. That's the way I look at it. If you're copying me right away or copying those who I represent, and you're hating already, eh? And that's what's funny, eh, you know? And that's what I trip out on. That's the stuff that I can't stand. That's the stuff that I see and I look and it's just like, it's funny, eh? Now, everything else, what people go through, you know, there's a lot of similarities to what we go through, man. There's a lot of similarities that we go through, man. A lot of us are, you know, ex-hypes. You know, a lot of us have jobs. You know, there's a lot of us that made mistakes. There's a lot of us that have been married. There's a lot of us that have been divorced. A lot of similarities that comes to it, man. So let's talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Or let's just talk. I mean, come on now. That's where the difference comes in, man. That's where the changes are always at, man. That's where the narrative is always at. Mine, I keep things real, man. You know, Big D's always keeping it real, man. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. I'm far from it. You know, but when it comes to standards and liberty, you know what I'm saying, and what we're saying and what we're doing, hey, let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Let's keep it real what we're doing. Keeping it real means keeping it humble, keeping it, you know, hey, I make mistakes over and over again. Or a lot of us, hey, man, we're just keeping it real, man. We're just trying to do things right. We're trying to, there's a lot of disparity. I understand it. I get it. People talk about it, but be about it. You know what I'm saying? Talking is good for the beginning. But action is doing what we do. What after that is that's the difference. And I see a lot of people. They're just, even some good channels. You know what I'm saying? They're out there. They're talking about their channel and what they're doing. And there's a lot of hood channels, neighborhood channels. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna talk about a neighborhood, man, if you haven't even been there? How you gonna talk about a neighborhood if you haven't even done time right there, man? There's a lot of similarities when it comes to gangs. Yes, I understand it. There's a lot of similarities, man. People say this about them, see people say that about them. Good about them, bad about them. I mean, come on, man. You know, let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is when it comes onto the streets. In LA, there's so many neighborhoods, man. There's so many people that have taken it, drove through it, stole it, abide by it, copied it. It is what it is, man. And that's what it's been all about, man. Like I said, there's Whittier Village and there's Whittier Quiet Village, eh? Same neighborhood too, like right, not even too far, eh? But one stronger than the others, eh? You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to. What it really comes down to, those who are willing to put on and to represent, eh? And whether you have 2 or 3 people following you, or you have 20,000, I'll stay with the two, eh? Because my money's on the smaller clique, eh? And then my thought is on that smaller person, the one that came up with it, the one that thought of that, the one that's being that, not the one that, hey, well, let's just take their name, you know what I'm saying? No, let's just take them. When they talk about they don't want to come support over here, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to say that they are, but then they'll go over there and start their own concept, eh? Well, then guess what? Then, hey, I'm going to start talking some smack about it, and that's what it is. But positivity, I don't need to cuss, which I rarely do, and you see me on my videos and all that. And I don't need to do this. We just keeping it real, man. You know what I'm saying? We just, with all that action and all that displaying and all that talking, it's just funny, eh? And I'm starting to see a lot of channels do to it. And don't think you're not going to get through me through disparity. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, eh? Because actions are more than everything. It's what you do is what's more important. It's what you say is what you do. That's one thing that's never been taken away from me is the doing part. The same part, I don't like to talk, eh? I really don't. Unless it's positive stuff. If you go, let's talk about it on the G. Lou show, we talk about positive stuff, man. Well, since I've been there, it's been positive. It's a good homie right there. I got other good, channels that are good too, that I'm building a relationship with, man. Strong ones too. And they have strong, solid people. They'll knock you out. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to do that. They'll do it not for me. But if you're not right with them or right with the cause or with the notion, that, hey, you be expecting it. You know what I'm saying? Not through me, I'm not threatening anybody or saying anything. But let me see, let's just talk over there. When let's talking about it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of similarities. It's hypocrisy, man. You're being hypocritical when it comes to things like that. There's a lot of channels like that, man. Right? But I'll start saying them pretty soon. I'll start saying what it is. Too bad that I didn't go out there and fact check it and put everything down, put the what you call it, when it comes to make it solidarity, somebody's copying or duplicating whatever, then they get a copyright, you know what I'm saying? Just like that video, the black and white that I came out in, man. I came out in the video in the 90s, early 90s too, man. I'm talking about 94, 90, and we got hit up that day too. In black and white, whatever. Well, everybody's paying the money right now, 2000, 2010s, 2020s. Man, I already been there, already done that. You know what I'm saying? I already post to that. You know what I mean? Still living it, still doing it. Still with the homies. I'm still with my brothers. I have a difference with a couple of them, and we'll take care of it, just like I have it with family and when I have it with friends. I have a couple of family members that don't see eye to eye. We'll take care of it, however it comes, right? You guys seen Big Dumb and how Big D, how he does it, and how he comes at it and how he approaches it. Eh? You pull out the Bible. Well, hey, we'll talk about the Bible. You pull out a gat, and then hey, I'll pull out a gat, or somebody else will. There's no disparity, man. I gotta be smart. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to threaten nobody. I'm trying to copy nobody, man, because I don't want none of those problems. I don't want none of those disparities or those differences or those changes. I'm not trying to take this. I'm not trying to take that, man. That's the last thing that I need to do is copy somebody or try to take something. That's not what I'm doing. Not trying to being hypocritical and being a thief about things and certain things, you know. I'm being straight up. I'm being straight up, man. So now, what you're gonna start seeing is a lot more of me, and the title's gonna say, "Let's talk about it." And whether I'm by myself, with my homies, or with good people, or with good stuff, have a little title besides "Let's talk about it." Let's talk about what? Let's talk a little bit about the last three toy drives that I've been going through. It's a big difference. The first one in Pomona was pretty cool. You say, "Hey, Big D, you talked about this already." The last one, yeah, but you know what? It was a little blurry. Plus, I'm talking about it again. The last one I went to was pretty cool, man, and giving out to the community. They have cars out there. There's a lot of shops out there, man. There's a lot of promotion that's going on, right? And plus the toy drive, right? Giving back to your city, whether it's $10, $20, $30, $40, however you guys feel, man. Giving back to society. I always felt like that. It's better to give than to receive, eh? And I've always been blessed and fortunate to give back, right? Went to another one in Whittier and saw a couple more people, right? Saw Willie G, like I mentioned it the last time, right? It was a good thing. It was a good service, man. Am I gonna judge Willie G because he's changed his attitude and then because no, he was still singing. It was recorded, right? The songs that he was singing, where he was singing a couple oldie songs, he sang a couple spiritual songs. It's all gravy, man. But I don't see him trying to, hey, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's he was being about it. So I came out here talking about them, and then I went with Chingaderas. And shout out to my homie Chingaderas, am I right? In LA, in Fifth and Central, worst place he could be. Worse. Difference from the last two services that we went through. Different, big difference. Even the one in Whittier, the one where I grew up, I grew up at. They say, hey, Big D, I thought you grew up in Boyle Heights. I grew up right there too, in my great grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? We went out there for Easter, for Christmases. I saw Uncle Frank, cousin Frankie, you know what I'm saying? The homie said, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? If I went from Easter, I went from Boyle Heights to City Terrace to Whittier. You know what I'm saying? To pretty much all over the world when it comes to it, man. And that's the concept that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I could back it up. I could say everything. Not only am I talking about it, I'm being about it. Just how people have come out and how they said and how they talked about and how they put it out there. So, these are the channels, right? I forgot. Let me see what actually where they were. I'll put them on like tomorrow, or when I start feeling better, or I'll get some conversations and say, hey, who are you talking about, man? Right? Look it up, man. It just says let's just talk, and you'll see what it is, and then you look it up. Let's talk about it. I'm pretty sure you see Julian and a couple other. When we got this 3-4 years ago, there was nobody like that. I was looking at it. I was looking, make sure, because I was not trying to duplicate anybody else or being a hypocrite. Be something that I'm not. I would just be something original, coming out with content, coming out with a good title, coming out with good stories, you know what I'm saying? And we've been there, we've done that, and we've grown from that, man. People have piggybacked off of what I say, or actually off of what we say, and off actually what we do, which is cool, and we'll keep it being like that, you know what I'm saying? I even had to put myself, down for a couple months, 4 or 5 months, because of disparity, because the law, you know what I'm saying, how they intend to do things, whether you're Christian, spiritual, evil, or not, they're still going to get who they want to get or whoever's contribute to that. And I went through that, you know what I'm saying? Then I had channels talking about my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm going to come out strong, 2025, it's just like, hey, it's time to fire back, and swinging and firing back, and talking to people and praying about things. It ain't too hard. It's a lot easier. All these people say they've been to college or they're going to college and everything else. I already been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, I still have my school freaking ID from back in the days to show you guys, and you guys are, looking at these channels now like they do this. Even when I go to checkups and house there's a couple of us that are out there for checkups, when it was teeth, heart, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, that we've been out there doing that. It's just showing our differences, but same conclusion when it comes down to the doctors. It's just say, he went for a doctor's view for this day, for that. I went for a different doctor's view day for this day and that for that. There's a lot of similarity, but a lot of difference too. But keep the name, you know what I mean? Keep it to yourself, That's what I'm tripping on. So I'll come out right? I let these channels come out. I'll come out. Those who want to know what channels there are, you don't need to know, who it is or what it is by asking me. I'm gonna start putting this stuff out, and then after we'll have our differences. We'll have 1 2 conversations, and boom, and we'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? Start whoever else is just talking about this or talking about me or talking about the area or talking about my hood, and then you're looking for some problems, eh? You're looking for some big problems. I've been respectful to everybody out there since I made this YouTube channel, man. Since I made my YouTube channel, I've been respectful. Been nothing but respectful. Coming out and doing my thing, showing where I disparity. Even Love Grace has gotten even subscribers, you know what I mean? Substantial without me without even her really being out there. Because people are following her now because, you know what I'm saying, that they choose not to follow me. They choose not to see me. They choose not to give me a like or to bring over because they know I could bring over 800 and so many fans. Why they're talking about stuff, And not only people all over the state, all over the world, And that's what it is. That's the concept of Big D. But I choose not to even be like that, Slowly but surely, I just choose to be who I want to be, when I want to be, and how I want to be, and who I want to be with. Some good people out there, man. Everybody I rolled with is good persons. I don't roll with bad people, For instance, the Dub situation, right? Dubs brought me on, right? Because I was right there when I was on his little chat. You know what I'm saying? I was putting about positive thing about a certain person that he was talking about. It was like a year or two back, right? And then next thing you know, he's talking to this person, right? And then next thing you know, homeboy's over there on the G Lu show now. Go look at him, He's right there showing his name all the time. It's just like it is what it is, And then he start copying, right? And then he starts taking. Let's talk about it too. And he put on a video out there trying to put it. He even took it down. I have the video right here to show you guys, So whatever dubs, another one, You know what I'm saying? I don't really want nothing to do. You call me out, yeah, I was on this channel, but they called me out. They called me out. They called me out. I had nothing to do with him or this and that. Don't be talking about somebody when they're low about it. Talk about somebody when they're high about it. And when they're high about it. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to talk about people, you know what I'm saying, in the low when you hadn't even been there and done that. And that's why the other guy, Renegade Media, is another one too, You know what I'm saying? They be talking about my neighborhood. I mean, who hasn't talked about my neighborhood, I mean, come on, I'm not only in Santa Barbara or freaking San Diego. Even though I lived in San Diego for 10 years, I know North County like nothing. Shout out to all my homies from Oceanside, Real neighborhoods from Pozole, right? From Center Street, right? Real neighborhoods, From even San Marcos, you know what I'm saying? Even Vista, where I lived at most of my life, the 10 years in San Diego. Shout out to the Vista homeboys, Only, never disrespect me, got hit up twice, but it's all good, Well, you guys don't know, You guys don't know Big D, Well, those are some of the channels with disparity, you know what I'm saying? Just like, it's whatever with them, And all who they talk to, who supports them, and I really don't care, As long as you guys ain't talking about me or talking about the concept of let's talk about it, then come on, Then we straight. And we straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get in your guys' business. Don't get in mine. I don't take your titles. Don't take ours. It's a fair thing. There's a lot of stuff that don't need to be stolen on here. Besides music, everybody plays oldies, Everybody wants to be a Chicano, right? Even got Central State, California channel, YouTube channels. They say you can't do this and you can't do that. I'm like, man, what? When it comes to Chicanoism, let me just educate somebody, When you're a little kid, when you're born, you're straight Chicano, If you have a Chicano mother and a Chicano father, let's make it simple. Then you're Chicano. If you become a gang member, you're still Chicano, It's just if you get a tattoo from a homie, whether it's a guy at a tattoo shop or a homeboy, most likely they're Chicanos, Unless you go to tattoo shops, a white guy or a black guy, shout out to them, man. That's not the disparity. The disparity is where it says like, oh, well, Chicano isn't them come in the neighborhood. Well, you really know the history of it? Do you really first? I'll say something. I seen this other channel, right? Made me laugh. He came out G Lu show, and then they're supposed to be working together. And he came out. He said, "Well, the movies, the movies, the movies." I was like, "What?" Like my mom came out in the movie, And then my uncle came out in the movie, That's not Chicanoism. It's what happens when people try to compare and despair and take away your rights and what's going on, You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, you're not this and you're not that. And I'm looking at that like, what? When you're born here, you're Chicano. When you're an infant, when you're day first, you're Chicano. Like you're white or you're black or whatever. And then you start learning the history, right? And you start learning your culture, what comes behind it and what's the disparity and difference of it. Still homeboy. You know, I had a cousins that, that went to college at a younger age and this, and they're still Chicanoism, But me, I made a difference and a life changing story. I didn't have a father in the beginning, so I made a lot of differences than those who have fathers. Still makes me Chicano. I mean, come on, go tell a homeboy that's red, especially in LA, and they see gives you a tattoo. And if it's a homeboy that's all tatted up and you tell them you ain't Chicano because Chicano don't come, Chicano's all about goodness and this, that's our parents, bro. Those who came from Mexico, first generation, second generation, possible third, eh? That's a Chicano when you're born here, eh? When you have descendants or family members or your father and your mother are from Mexico and they come church and they work hard over here. But within that hardness, you find yourself on the playgrounds, you know what I'm saying? You find yourself out on the streets until the light goes on. That was me. That was me. I was in my neighborhood. I was right there at State Street, eh? You know what I'm saying? When across the street from the park. And it's not my fault. Tell my uncle that he's not Chicano. He didn't grow up into that. Then he got involved and it was, hey, he was doing his thing right there, State Street, eh? And I saw it. So does that, and by me seeing it, that seeing my grandfather going to work, you know what I'm saying? Yes, so my grandmother right there keeping the household in the old days, but nobody talks about the differences or what happens in the household either, right? Nobody says, hey, my grandfather was a drunk, or my uncle was a drunk, my uncle was a smoker, my uncle was abuser, my uncle was sexually this, my aunt was sexually abused. And nobody talks about that, eh? It just talks about what makes them Mexican, what makes them where this word comes from, or this, that. A lot of it out there, some of it, I'll even say some of it, a little bit of it, not even a lot. There's a lot of mostly it's all disparities, the difference, eh? But a little bit is true, a little bit, just a little bit. Just like what I'm talking about today, so I'm gonna take a little bit of you. You know what I'm saying? They'll put it out there, man. They'll be like, all right, let's go do this, or let's go do that. I already said it, man, about a couple channels already, man, right? I already said about a couple people. Don't hate towards them. I just don't mess with them, man. Just the way they put me on that day, they could go talk about anybody, eh? But talk about what, right? Let's talk about it, eh? You know what I'm saying? Or let's just talk. It's a difference, eh? See a lot of similarity to it, man. You're the hypocrites, eh? You're the ones that came on copying us, eh? Or copying me or copying him. There's a big disparity, a big difference, eh? But with all that being said, it's already about 40 minutes, man. I thought it was going to be 15, 20 minutes in. It's all good, eh? You know what I'm saying? With that being said, man, let's talk about it. It's coming out through the new year. I'm saying if G-Lu ain't doing it, then I'm doing it. It's the same concept when it's been the last couple of weeks, months. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we bought it. We're going to be about it. We're going to talk about it. Or let's just talk. Come on, talk. You know what I mean? With that being said, it's Big D. Yeah, something to say. A lot of people I met a lot of people, man. Trust me, I'm always on the streets. If I ain't in the streets, I'm at home. If I ain't at home, I'm at family member's house. If I ain't family member's house, I'm at friend's house. If I ain't there, I'm in the pool. If I ain't at the pool, I'm at the beach. If I ain't there, I'm in the mountains. Come on, eh? Come on now, man. I've been on for 4 years already. I already hit the 1,000 subscribers, which I pleasantly love to be. Where they get grown big, this channel becomes certain. I don't say things, eh? I don't say things like, oh, if this channel this year don't grow, I'm going to turn it off, eh? And then they're still there. Come on, dog. You know what I mean? But that's the difference between me and them, eh? I never say I'm never going to do that. I'm saying never say never, eh? Don't ever say I'm never going to do this, or I won't never do that, or I'm not going to be this, I'm not going to do that. Because you end up doing it anyways. That's why I never say never, eh? You know what I'm saying? I'm always about that, hey, realism. Big D keeps it real. That's what it is, eh? Keep it positive, man. Keep it going straight. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to cheat, rob, steal on YouTube. Come on, ain't no keyboard gangster here. Try to take something from me from real life, eh? Oh, brother, but it's just like, oh, man, I thought you were a Christian, this and that, man. Just because I'm a Christian and going through stuff and changed my life, I thought that was what YouTube wanted to see, wanted to go that route. All of a sudden, you guys want to take it and you want to leave. That's just, the youngsters. right? Even older homies that are like that. I get it. But I got taught by my older homies in a wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Where they were trying to do things within amongst ourselves, the youngsters, the next generation that was coming up. That's how you learn. Big D's been up and down county jail. Like I barely put a couple of names down. Everyone wants to talk about it too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny and just like, I could say about this in the 90s and I see channels up to date today. You know what I'm saying? Brady woke up like around 8, 9 o'clock, toward 10, 9:30, 10. And I see channels talking about it today. Well, back in the days, and this is like, oh man, really? I should just keep my mouth shut because if they're trying to take already the title or the voice of the thing, then man, they'll take everything you got. Trust me, that's the way YouTube is, eh? And YouTube has to be a little bit more hard when it comes to things like that. And like I said, man, I gotta write a book like other people have wrote in just books, you know what I'm saying, or where they've been at, or level 4, level 5. I respect homies that come there. My homies come from there, man. I got one of the OG neighborhood that I was from. One of the oldest gangs right there, not just in Whittier, but all of LA. To tell you the truth, I represent the Southeast like a monster, like a beast, because I do it out of respect. I don't do it out of disparity or trying to copy somebody or trying to be like somebody else. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I was trying to be like my family members, man. My uncle was a father figure to me. And then, yeah, then my homeboys, which quickly, be to say, hey, but the older homies, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, they'll treat you like the county, straight up, eh? So that's the way I look at it, man. That's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go through. I didn't have to go through that whole narrow. What about the homies that didn't make it, eh? All the youngsters that I know, the one I took a picture with, the ones who were on my video, black and white. It was on black and white. I didn't put it like that. That's the way they put it out there, But I was part of it, been there, done that, and still going forward, moving on it by myself. I don't need 20 people or any 1,000 people behind me to say something or not. Come on now, man. That makes me laugh, man. So, anyways, like I said, man, you got these other channels that are out there. They have something to say. If they know who they're talking about, they'll call me, eh? Other than that, I'm just a small little YouTube channel, eh? But I don't see them here and I don't see them there. I don't see them talking to me personally or getting at me personally. I'd rather just keep it like that, eh? Because there's real homies, eh? Between the 10, 11, 12 channels that are on here, man, there's thousands of vatos and homies, eh? Especially just in LA. Especially when it comes to the East LA. It's just like you guys don't know, man. It's just like, so when it comes to LA, period, man, Southern California, especially Southern California, anybody has to do a Central or man, I know the homies out there, man. Even one that I still talk to this day. But never hear about neighborhoods that are out there. As soon as I started saying chancleros, everybody started talking about chanclas. As soon as I started saying about Selma, the city of Selma, everybody wants to talk about Selma now. It's just like, it's funny, eh? That's what I'm saying, man. That's how I know people are following me, in disguise, eh? Like, there's Big D, but I ain't gonna say nothing. There's Big D. I ain't gonna say that. Not because to say that they're scared, but to say that, hey, you guys, a lot of them are hypocritical when it comes to it, eh? And that's what it is, eh? Be hypocritical about it, another YouTube channel come out here. I hardly get any disparity or what. I ain't gonna call it out, eh? Maybe I'll get much more, a lot of haters about this and this and that. You ain't gonna get it. What you're gonna get is something different, eh? You get whether you get tapped out or locked out, and that's it, eh? Let me see, man. Oh, sorry, guys. Richard Lokes, I lose Big D, keeping it real. So I'm always keeping it real, man. I try to, man. Thank you, Richard Lokes. What's up, my boy? Trucker Joe, what's happening, man? Actions A&D right there. Daniel Sports Highlights, what's up, man? Ragtag Gaming, PGL, whatever that means. Action, no distractions, eh? PGL. But that's about it, man. Right now, like I said, man, I forgot what even this little virus that I'm going through that I have. I forgot that what I had is. I'm just toughing it out, man, as the way I'm supposed to, and what I'm going through and all that. But I've been through so much stuff in my life, gunshot wound surgeries, and broken bones. It's just you guys wouldn't even. At almost 50, I just turned 49, but you know what? It's all good, eh? With disparity, with humility, you know what I'm saying? With a lot of stuff that's moving forward too, that I'm going to move forward, man. Whether with my family or not, you know what I'm saying? You just be me. You just never know. Every day is different, man. You know, that's the way life is, man. You know, it is what it is, man. But with that being said, 45 minutes in. Richard Lokes, thanks for tapping in. And everybody else who tapped in, who gave love and support, man, I really appreciate that. I respect that, man. But those copycatters that are out there, I got a name for you guys, Trust me, your name's coming out pretty soon, So keep saying what you're saying, keep your episodes up, but make sure you throw my name on it too, because I'm coming after you too, with a lot of respect, With that being said, Big D is out.